Add and subtract mixed numbers. When doing math with mixed numbers, it is easiest to convert the mixed number to a fraction. After the equation has been solved, we will convert it back, which means back to a mixed fraction. So example 1. Gabriel needs a 2 1/4 foot and a 1 2/3 foot long pieces of electrical wire. What is the total amount of electrical wire needed? So we need to add these two numbers together. So we will first convert. So 2 1/4 becomes, so 2 times 4 is 8, and then we're going to plus 1, which gives us 9. So if we remember, our first step was to multiply, then we add, and then we're going to take 9, which is our new numerator, over 4. Next is 1 2/3. So we first multiply. So we get 3 times 1, which is just 3. Then we're going to plus 2. This is from this 2. And then we get 5. So then this becomes our new numerator. So it's 5 over 3. So now we've changed our two numbers to improper fractions. We can add them. So we have 9 over 4 plus 5/3. Now the one thing we can't do though is we can't add until we get the same denominator. So we will multiply this 5/3 by 4 over 4, and then this 9 over 4 over 3 over 3. This will get us to our common denominator of 12. So now we can go 3 times 9 is 27, which is over 12, plus 5 times 4 is 20, which is over 12. And so when we add these two together, we get 47 over 12. And then the next step will be to convert it back to a mixed fraction. So 12 goes into 47. 12 can go to 47 3 times, so we get 36. And we subtract. 47 minus 36 is 11. And so we get our whole number. This is our remainder. And this is our denominator. So it becomes 3 over 11/12. And this would be our final solution. So let's go look at another example. Example 2. If Gabriel has a 23 1/6 feet of electrical wire, then how much is left over when he cuts off 2 pieces he needs from the first example? So what we're doing is we're going 23 1/6, and we're going to subtract what we got from the last example, which was 3 11/12. So how we go about this is we're going to convert this 23 1/6 to a fraction. So now we go 23 times 6. 3 times 6 is 18, carry the 1. 2 times 6 is 12, plus 1 is 13. And then we're going to go 138 plus 1. So we did this first. And we get 139 over 6. And so we have 139 over 6 minus, and then we'll just take the same number we got from the before, which is 47 over 12. And so how we can then subtract is if we get a common denominator of 12. So To get from 6 to 12, we're just going to multiply the top and bottom by 2. So we have 139 times 2. 9 times 2 is 18. Carry the 1. 3 times 2 is 6, plus 1 is 7. 2 times 1 is 2. So then we're left with 278 over 12 minus 47 over 12. So when we go 278 minus 47, 8 minus 7 is 1, 7 minus 4 is 3, and then just 2. So we're left with 231 over 12. And then we need to convert it back. So we have 12 goes into 231. So 12 can go into 23 one time. We'll subtract. 3 minus 2 is 1. 2 minus 1 is 1. Now, 12 can go into 111 9 times, because 12 times 9 is 108. And then we're going to subtract. We need to borrow, so we're left with 3. So we're left with our remainder here, our whole number, and our denominator. So we get 3 and over 12, and we have 19 as our whole number. But this can be reduced, as 3 12s can be reduced. So we get 19 and 1/4. And this is our correct solution. So let's go look at another example. Example 3. Gabriel is repairing oil lines with copper tubing. If he needs 2 lanes of 6 3/8 inches and 13 2/5 inches, what is the total length he needs? If he has a tube that is 18.5 inches long, will that be long enough for these repairs? So we have 6 3/8. Let's go ahead and convert that. And then we have 13 2/5. And so we're going to add these two numbers together. So we have 6 times 8 from this. We got 48. And we're going to add the 3 from, we're going to add the 3 to get us 51. And then we're going to put it over our original denominator, which is 8. So now we have 13 times 5, which is 65. Then we're going to add 2, which gets us 67. So it's 67 over 5. So now we're going to add these two numbers together. So we have 51 over 8 plus 67 over 5. And so how we get our common denominator of 8 and 5 is we're just going to multiply these two numbers. So we're going to multiply 51 over 8 by 5 over 5 and 67 over 5 times 8 over 8. This will get us a common denominator of 40. So let's go ahead and do 51 times 5. 1 times 5 is 5. 5 times 5 is 25. So we got 255 over 40 plus 67 times 8. 7 times 8 is 56. Carry the 5. 6 times 8 is 48 plus 5 is 53. So we got 536 over 40. Then we're going to add those two numbers together. So we got 11, carry the 1. Then we get 9, and then 7. So we get 791 over 40. And then our final step will be to convert it back. So we get 40, and we're going to go into 791 times. So 40 can go into 79 one time. We're going to go ahead and subtract, and we're left with 39. Then we bring down that 1. Now 40 can go into 391 9 times, because if 40 times 10 is 400, then we can go 9. So 40 times 9, if you're not sure, go 0 times 9 is 0, 4 times 9 is 36. So we're left with 360. So we subtract, and we get 1, 3, and 0. So here we have our remainder, our whole number, and our denominator. So we get 19 and 31 over 40. And this would be our final solution. And then now we can go back and look at 18.5 and say that this will not be long enough, the tube that he has, as he only has 18.5 inches, and he needs 19 and 31 over 40 inches.